Hi, I'm Brach.
And I'm Glen, and we're about half of Zeppelin Design Labs, and we're talking to you today from Tone Zone Recording Studio in Uptown Chicago to demonstrate for you our latest concoction, the Cortado MkIII Pro Audio contact microphone.
The Mark III is our latest version of our popular contact microphone. It's got a fully balanced signal path, which gives us very low noise floor. It's also got a built-in preamp, which buffers the signal from the sensor, and it allows a very wide bandwidth and a flat frequency response. And the preamp is active, which requires phantom power, and the Mark III has got some very useful features, such as a negative 10 dB pad and a switchable high-pass filter that we're calling Bass Boost.
Now, Brock, tell me about this sensor. How does this sensor work?
Yeah, inside the sensor is a very delicate piezoelectric transducer that we've sealed inside the can through a very time-consuming proprietary process. The metal can offers electrical shielding, and it also offers physical protection to the sensor. And the way we've developed it, it turns out that it's very robust. In fact, in our last video, you can see it being run over by a car.
So, Brock, tell me a little bit about what this mic is good for.
Yeah, the Cortado is quite versatile, actually, with applications ranging anywhere from sound design to live sound reinforcement. But today, of course, we're in the studio, so we want to demonstrate its applications here. Yeah, to give a little bit of background information, contact mics pick up vibrations within solid surfaces, unlike traditional microphones that pick up vibrations through the air. Obviously, that's the way our ears work as well. We can hear the sound within the context of the room and the air in the environment. For example, when I hear your voice talking to me from across the room, I'm hearing the vibrations of your vocal cords coming directly to my ears, but I'm also hearing the vibrations being bounced off of other things in this room and hitting me. And so I'm getting the reverberations and echoes of those things. And so with a contact microphone, you get none of that. You only hear the internal vibrations and resonances of the thing that it's attached to, which makes the Cortado great for isolation in live environments, but it also allows us to hear things in a very different way than we normally hear them. And I've got to say, I've been having a lot of fun recording new sounds with this mic. I've been using the Cortado on instruments that I've spent years recording with other mics, more traditional mics. And with this, I'm able to capture some really unique sounds with it. And they're not necessarily bad or good sounds, but they're just different. And that's one of the things that makes a mic like this really useful in the studio, where we're always trying to expand our sonic palette.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Why don't we go ahead and take a listen to some of those instruments?
Yeah. All right, so with the piano here, we're using two contact microphones, one on the far right side of the soundboard and one on the far left side of the soundboard. To the left of the bass strings, and this is the first placement we tried with these mics. We didn't really experiment at all. And this is what the right side sounds like, the treble side, and this is what the left side, the bass side, sounds like.
I really like the sound there. Now I see we've got two mics on this violin, one on the top next to the bridge and the other is on the bottom, right by directly below the sound post, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, yes. Once again, this is the first place that we tried placing these microphones, and it sounded all right. I like the sound of it. It would work well in a live environment. Once again, not getting any feedback really. You just capture the sound of the internals of the instrument.
Yeah, so if you're playing punk violin, this would be your pickup of choice.
Yeah, ideally, yeah. With the cello, we basically placed the mics in the same position as on the violin. One right below the bridge, more toward the bass side, and one directly on the back side underneath the sound post. And with cello, you kind of can hear the phase differences slightly more than with some of the other instruments, and that kind of brings about a little bit of a chorus sound.
Sounds nice and
rich. Yeah, with snare drum, we place the sensor right on the head.
I'm impressed with the resolution of the texture that you pick up from the brushes on the surface of the drum. It sounds so intimate.
Yeah, it does. I like it a lot. All right, with the hand drum here, we placed it once again right on the surface of the head. You're getting a lot of attack sound, not much of the thunderous, boomy sound that you get from the air moving underneath the...
Yeah, so you'd still need a bottom mic if you wanted to capture the kaboom sound to a djembe.
Yeah, exactly. But this seems to work well for the attack. Yeah, on banjo here, we just place the sensor directly on the back side of the head, right underneath the bridge. And the head did seem a little loose on this particular banjo, and so it wasn't quite as snappy as what I was predicting it would sound like. Yeah, for bass guitar, I just clamped the sensor right to the headstock.
That is crazy. I would not have guessed there was so much sound inside the headstock of an electric bass. I mean, the bass isn't plugged in. You're hearing this is all acoustic sound inside the head.
Yeah, well, that's what guitars do. They resonate like that all through the neck and body.
Yeah, so we found this kalimba in the studio and gave it a whirl. I'm not playing it very well, but it sounds very nice, I think. Yeah, this mic is very popular on cajon and also on handpan.
Yeah, here's a neat trick we like to do. We like to stick the contact mic directly on the bell of the speaker, close to the magnet, and also on the side of the speaker cabinet. You can hear the cabinet resonating very well.
So cool.
Yeah. So here we place the sensor right behind the bridge of the acoustic guitar, and I've noticed that placement, how close it is to the treble side or bass side really has a big effect on the EQ. So you can really tune the frequencies pretty easily just by placing the mic in a slightly different location behind the bridge.
Nice.
Dobro is another instrument where the placement of the mic is really likely to have a big influence on the tone. And this is actually just the first place that we placed it, and we didn't experiment too much.
And by trying different placements, you can experiment with a variety of different tones.
Or with the harmonica, we just slapped the sensor onto the back of the harmonica with the putty, the sensor putty. And this is the sound we got. You just have to be really careful if you're playing the harmonica not to brush the sensor with your hand.
Oh, yes.
Or brush the cable, because you'd definitely be able to hear that. And so it'd probably affect how you would want to cup the instrument.
Whoa, that sounds kind of nasty. What's in all that valve noise?
Well, that's what you get with the contact microphone. Although I do love the tone of the instrument itself.
Yeah.
You're hearing the clack of the valves a lot more than the tone of the actual instrument. But that's, maybe if you're wanting to mic the valves, this is a great microphone.
This would be the way to do it. Yeah, again, I hear a lot of clacking from the image, but it is nice. It's a nice sound. And where did you put the mic on it?
I actually put the mics on the plastic covers on either side, so we're hearing two different mics, one on the melody side and one on the button side. And you're hearing a lot of the clackiness or the mechanics of the inside, the reeds working. We could probably have reduced a lot of the clackiness if we would have taken the covers off and put them directly on the reed bank.
Now that sounds awesome. I still hear a little bit of the valve in the background, but that tone is amazing.
Yeah, I really like the tone of this. It sounds a lot like you have a mute in the trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, once again, you can hear the valves pretty clearly. This is just another case of you hear the insides of the instrument.
That's really unique. Well, that was a lot of fun. Well, for more information about the Cortado MkIII contact microphone, you can visit cortadomic.com, where you'll find sound samples and specifications and an index of our rapidly growing global dealer network.
From Zeppelin Design Labs, thanks for listening.